Let's do it. Okay, we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and welcome to Manchester United versus Brentford preview, as well as your Manchester United news. I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of guys in the chat. We got Stephanie, we got Jarl, and we got 11 likes in the video so far. So thanks very much for that one, guys. Get your match predictions in for Saturday night's match against Brentford. Going to be an important match in terms of top four, and that's why I've called it a must-win. You know, if you want to finish top four, you want to be in Champions League next season. We've been thrown a lifeline with Villa and Spurs dropping points in recent weeks, so let's make sure that we can go out there on Saturday night, pick up 3 points, and keep that momentum going. We want to build upon what we got last week against Liverpool. We want to build upon some of the more positive results we've had in the last couple of weeks, and we want to keep on going and make sure that we do try to finish the top four or top five, depending on these coefficient rankings, which I'm not going to lie, I don't fully understand yet, and I'm sure you guys don't understand completely either. Stephanie's down there with the match prediction. She's saying United to edge it 2-1 or 3-2. We never make things easy. We don't. And as well, Steph says, vote, like, chat, and subscribe. Yes, guys, hit the like button, hit the sub button if you haven't already. And Jarl is down there. Going to be a long summer. De Jong, 75 million for a player. He's turned United down twice. I don't want him. We've got Manu in his role. I think that'll come into thinking as well, buddy. We will get talking about some transfers and stuff. We will get talking, of course, about the match of the weekend. But I guess first thing I want to get talking about, guys, is my predicted 11, and you can see it on the right-hand side of me. No, it's not a watch-along, but I do have the 11 up there. So I think it's going to be Onana. I think it'll be Wan-Bissaka. It'll be Varane. I think Harry Maguire, and I think Dalot at left-back. I'm going to go midfield 3, Bruno, who's had pretty much a week off for the first time in about a year. I'm sure he's probably feeling very well rested by his standards. Then we got Kobbie Mainoo and Scott McTominay. I can see us going more physical in this match. Brentford are a strong team, a physical team, and I just don't think we're going to see Casemiro. I don't think Mount's going to come right back into the starting 11 after having played 15 minutes against Liverpool a fortnight ago. So yeah, I think it will be pretty much unchanged in that regard. And then his guest forward line going to be Garnacho, it's going to be Højlund, and it's going to be Rashford. We could see some surprises in there. Anthony could come in after getting a goal against Liverpool. We might see Amad Diallo feature against Brentford as well. Certainly some surprises. Players coming back as well from injury. That's going to be a positive thing for Erik ten Hag, and I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting match against Brentford. These guys always give us a difficult match. Obviously, last season, they beat us 4-0. I think we beat them at home, but even at that, losing 4-0 last time we went here, that was a scoring day for Erik ten Hag, and a very difficult day to bounce back from. Even this season, they led for most of the match at Old Trafford. If it wasn't for 2 stoppage time goals from Scott McTominay, then we would have lost that match as well. And Brentford, they're pretty solid against the bigger teams. It just suits their style of play. It suits their tactics. It suits the way that they can transition and play on the break, and they're going to cause us a lot of problems. I guess one of those problems is one Ivan Toney. Now, I'm a big fan of him as a player, maybe not so much as a person, but I do worry about Toney against our back line, especially if it's Victor Lindelof in there. We've all seen this before. We've seen this story, Victor Lindelof getting run ragged by Calvert-Lewin, by Ollie Watkins. We've seen him struggle in the air against a whole host of physical players, and Ivan Toney will be no exception at the weekend. So let's hope it's Maguire, let's hope it's Varane, and that gives us an opportunity to defend our box against Brentford. We don't want another 4-0 in our hands here. I don't think this is the same Brentford team. I don't think this is the same team that playing at that level that they can do it to us. So I'm not going to give myself too much of a kiss of death, but I do think this should be a win regardless for Manchester United. I got thoughts on there from Bourne. Bourne is saying a 2-1 win. Jarl said Rashford got a slight knock, so he might sit out. I also heard that Bruno, Maguire and Garnacho also got knocks. Yeah, I seen that about Rashford. It does look like it was a tactical choice to leave him out of the starting 11s for England. I think Maguire comes back, to be fair. He left the England camp pretty early, so I would assume he's back until we hear otherwise tomorrow. And who else? Well, Garnacho. Yeah, I'm not too sure about Garnacho. I think I would like him to play, but I don't know if there's going to be sorry, I don't know if he's going to play or not. It could be Anthony. It could be. I hope it's not, but I want it to be Garnacho. It's as much what I want to see as my honest predictions, to be fair. And I think that's what we're going to be going with. But it might not be. Look, you could make changes there. You could see Lindelof at left back, Dalot at right back. You might see Casemiro come back in if he's fit. You might see Lisandro Martinez slot in if he's fit. You could see Mount. You could see Anthony. We could see Amad Diallo start as well. So there's a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes going into this match. And I think it's good to have some selection issues. Rajad is saying 2-2. I think everyone reckons we're going to score at least once. I think that's an interesting one as well. But I don't know. Let's just hope the defense can be solid. Let's just hope we can get ourselves a clean sheet. And I think if we keep a clean sheet, we will win because I think we'll score. And let's just hope we can build upon the decent run we've been on in the last couple of matches. And I know obviously City aside, but we have been picking up points. Maybe not always playing convincingly, but let's build upon that Liverpool result right before this international break. And it could put us in an interesting position, guys. It really would. Now, I think if I pull up the Premier League table, I believe, guys, we're on 48 points. So we're pretty close to those top 4 spaces. It's 6 points to Spurs, and I think it's 9 points to Aston Villa with a game in hand. So that could also be 6 points. They have some difficult matches in their own right. Villa play West Ham, I think, and that could be a match where they might drop points. And then I also think Tottenham playing Luton Town, a team with a lot of heart and a lot of fight, maybe not a lot of quality, but it'll certainly be a challenging match for Tottenham that one. And yeah, I mean, it puts us in an interesting position, guys. We're 47 points, Spurs on 53, Aston Villa on 56. Can we catch them? I don't know. The ball's in their court. It's up to them to bottle it, so to speak. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with this team? Who knows what we're going to be capable of in the last couple of weeks of the season? It could be good, it could be bad, it could be indifferent. Let's just find out, because I think Tottenham and Villa will give us opportunities. I think they will drop points, and it's going to be up to us to capitalise on it. Can we do it? I don't know. Do we always fluff our lines? Sometimes this season we have done as well, to be fair. Just in terms of our poll as well, guys, before we move on to some other stories, what have we got? 58% going for the win, 25 for the draw, and 17 going to go for a loss in Saturday's match. It's an interesting one, guys. I think we'll win it. Like, I do think we'll win on Saturday, and it might be the kiss of death for myself there, but I do try to be positive with these things. And I look at it from the point of view that Brentford haven't been good this season. Whilst we haven't been good, have picked up a few wins in the last couple of weeks, and at least we're scoring goals, and I think that gives us an opportunity going into this one, and it's going to be up to us, obviously, to try rectify that. Look, we've won the last 2 matches, beat Everton 2-0, beat Liverpool 4-3, obviously lost against City, but we beat Forest, we beat Luton Town, we beat Aston Villa, we beat Wolves and West Ham, Newport, and then Tottenham as well. So we've actually been on a pretty decent run, all things considered, by our own standards this season. Let's hope we can go out there at the weekend, beat Brentford. But guys, get your thoughts in down below. What do you guys want to see in terms of that starting 11 at the weekend? Do we want to see Anthony in there? Do we want to see Amad Diallo? Do you guys want to see Mount in there, perhaps? Casemiro, if he's back fit? Let me know your thoughts anyway, guys. Would appreciate them down below as always. Now, you're all said, I think we got a 2-1 win. But if we draw or lose, Villa or Spurs win at home, it's almost gone. We cannot lose. Yeah, I would agree with that, Jarl. You know, we cannot afford to lose this match. Absolutely. Rajat said, "Man, he can't do the role of De Jong." No, maybe not at the minute, but I think he certainly has the potential to do it. And to me, it makes a lot more sense developing Manu as opposed to going out for Frankie De Jong. And I guess that will take us on to another player and a transfer. Bit of transfer speculation that's coming out today, and that's about Joshua Kimmich. Yeah, things are kind of interesting for Kimmich at Bayern Munich at the minute. Very good player, like, make no mistake about it. I think he's a good player. Is he a number 6? Is he a right back? What's his best position? Is he kind of a mix of the two? Is he somebody who comes in and forms almost like a box type midfield from those positions? What does Kimmich do? What is Joshua Kimmich, I guess, is a question that Bayern Munich have been answering and asking themselves. Germany have been asking it. Kimmich has probably been asking it himself. Can I see him go? I think there's an interesting contract situation there. I like him as a player, but I don't think he's necessarily what we need. And I think we've already got Manu in that kind of position. We already... You would imagine that we're not going to sign a blocking player for Manu's progress. If anything, we might sign a supporting player. I guess that might make sense. But I think we're going to be going for an out-and-out number 6 in the summer, guys. And I think Amadou Onana is going to be top of that list, according to recent reports. The man is down there. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for hopping on in there. Rajat, Anthony has to start. Ahmad is suspended. He got a red card in the FA Cup game. I thought that would only count for the FA Cup. Did they not change the rules, or is it back to being all domestic competitions? I'm not too sure. Rajat said, I don't care if he's turning 30. Kimmich is a versatile centre mid and fullback. Yeah, I mean, he's a very versatile player, and he's a top level player in terms of what he does in possession. Like, he is and has been a very consistent, versatile player for a long time for Bayern Munich, among other and among others with the German national team as well. So it's one of those. It's like I would understand it as a signing. I just don't know if it's the type of signing we need to make, to be honest. Jarrad said FA Cup ban carries over to the league. I thought there was something about that. Like, I thought they changed it, or I don't know. Maybe it does. I'm not 100% sure anyway. But yeah, Kimmich, I mean, Barcelona seem to be in for the player. City could be in for the player. I just don't know if he's going to be our type of player, if he's going to be what we need exactly. And I mean, I really like the player. I just think you're talking 70, 75 million pounds to get him out of Bayern Munich, depending on the contracts and stuff as well. Like, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a player who maybe doesn't sort us out. I've got Bart down there. We have a goal difference of 0 and have conceded 100 more shots than anyone in the top 6. They stand 16th in the league in that stat. They also stand 30th among top 5 leagues for goals scored. Yeah, it's not good. It's really not good, Bart. And that's a big problem we have, is the amount of shots we concede is genuinely insane. And it's every single match. I think only Sheffield United have conceded more shots than us in the entirety of the Premier League. It's a massive concern. It's why we ship a lot of goals, because of just sheer volume of shots faced. And it doesn't give much chance here to defense. It comes down to these tactics. You know, we're just not compact, and that's a massive problem that we've had for a long time. You know, the disconnect between our backline and the rest of the team is so worrying. So I think we need players to fill that gap, both in terms of centre backs and left backs, but also a proper number 6 as well, in my opinion. Matata is down there. We shouldn't go for players over 25. You would like to see the average age brought down somewhat. No, I'm not going to take Goretzka. I think he's pretty injury prone. Bart says Brentford defeated United 4-0 and scored all 4 at halftime. United had Casemiro, Leitch, and Ronnie on the pitch. Yeah, we did. A lack of physicality cost us that day as well. I mean, Casemiro, I don't think he was actually there, Bart. I think it was Ericsson. I didn't remember Ericsson getting down in a press, receiving an absolute hospital pass from David De Gea. But yeah, Martinez played in that one. Ronaldo played in that match. It was a horror show. Like, make no mistake about it. It was not a good match. It was not an entertaining match from the United point of view, and it's not one that we want to remember anytime soon. But you know, we do have to talk about these things because we have to deal with it, and we have to move beyond that. There. So I'm not too sure. It's gonna be a hard match anyway at the weekend. Brentford's have a lot to play for. They're still feasibly in a relegation fight, and they still will be until the end of the season. Of course, the teams below them are worse in quality, and they have someone like Ivan Toney, but you know there's still questions coming up about that as well. Matata, I see him down there. Rajat, United playing away at Brentford's home ground. Yeah, it's an away match. How's Thuram from Nice? I like Thuram from Nice, but I think the problem I have with Kevin Thuram is I think he had a bit of an injury. He doesn't seem to be as physically impressive as what he once was in terms of the cover and the amount of work rate he does get through. But you were correct, Casemiro wasn't there, made the debut against Everton, when his mistake hit the goal and Nana dominated him. Yeah, I mean, he still played well. I think he got an assist, not going for a Ronaldo goal, but yeah, I mean, certainly far from ideal. Like, and I mean, Onana then impressed me. He's impressed me a lot more since then. Hopefully, he's going to be high up on our transfer priorities anyway. But I guess talking about transfer priorities, let's go back to the guy who I've been talking about for weeks upon weeks on this channel. Is Jarrad Branthwaite. Links are intensifying once again. Jack Talbot on one of the fan channels today was saying that United are having some really positive dialogue in terms of his signature, and it could be a signing like you see done pretty soon in terms of the overall transfer window. So that's an exciting one. I mean, I'm a big fan of Jarrad Branthwaite. You guys know this. I make no mistake about it. I make no secret about it. He's a player I really want to see brought into the club. Now, it does look like we're making progress towards that, which I guess is good news. It's going to be an expensive one, though. Jack Talbot says we're going all in ahead of the summer window, but Manchester City and Newcastle have also emerged as contenders for his signature. Everton will ask for around £75 million for Brentford in the upcoming window, but there is an idea that £65 million would be enough for Manchester United ahead of this window if the player purchases. So it's an interesting one. Not too sure how you guys feel about that. 75 million is a lot of money for a centre half. We've been burnt by Harry Maguire. It does kind of feel like that as well. And look, that's no slight on Maguire. Not that I dislike the guy, but he came in for that kind of price tag with a massive expectation, and ultimately, yeah, I mean, it's not gone as well as we wanted to. I have comments down below. Matata, every day we're discussing and dreaming players we should go for, but Radcliffe, is he really interested in buying players? He's an agenda which you don't know about. No, he's definitely interested in buying players, man. Definitely, definitely. Don't worry. Rajat goes, Radcliffe can at least start to talk to players to sort out potential interest, but it's all PR for media. I mean, yeah, I think there will be tidbits coming through worth keeping an eye out on. There always is, because journalists will be close to deals or close to agents or players or whatever, and they always manage to get word of these kind of things. Matata says the success is surely depending on the intentions of Radcliffe. I mean, yeah and no. A lot of it's going to depend on the people he brings in. I'm assuming his intentions are going to be to run the club in a serious way. That seemingly is what his agenda is. He makes a lot more money in terms of his running of Ineos than he would ever do with Manchester United. So it's probably not, we're not being run for profit. It just depends on the success of the changes he wants to implement. And I guess that's something we're going to find out in the next couple of weeks and months. And, you know, as we start to really get going here, the first window will be telling. It won't be the entire story. It never is. I think this is just going to be something you're going to look back on in like 2 or 3 years' time and really make a proper judgment on the feelings or successes of Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the ownership of Manchester United that they are bringing. It certainly is an interesting one anyway, guys. Hello to Chat Sport. Good to see you, buddy. What about Dan Ashworth? Is it confirmed? Seemingly we're making progress on it. It's not done yet, but it does look like it's going to happen at some point. I mean, he's on gardening leave for a reason. It's definitely going to be up to Newcastle and United to come to some kind of an agreement in terms of bringing the guy in. And yeah, I guess we're just going to have to wait and find out in that one. I can't see a world in which Ashworth doesn't become director of football at this point, or whatever technical term they want to call it. I just can't see a world where that doesn't happen. He wouldn't have made his intentions clear to Newcastle. He wouldn't have been put on gardening leave, and we wouldn't be going so intensely in our pursuit of Dan Ashworth if it wasn't going to happen, or if we didn't have very, very good reason to believe it would happen. Who have I got down below? Matata FSG. I mean, yeah, I mean, FSG is an interesting one. It depends what you ask from Liverpool fans. A lot of people are happy they're not part of a sports washing regime. Which, yeah, I completely get that, and I do commend that as well. And that's good for Liverpool as well. It's not one of the no. It's not a case that like things mean more at Liverpool, because I feel like that's just a corny thing to say as well. Like, but I don't know. Rajat said there, why can't we get Bayern or Dortmund's director of football? They want stuff at a higher level. It all depends, man, because like a lot of those clubs, you won't get people out of them. Dortmund haven't really won a lot in recent years. Bayern Munich have not been run well for many years as well. You know, they've still got good people in charge there, but like there are definitely good people out there. I've got 19 votes on the poll. Anyway, guys, 63% going for a win, 21 for the draw, 16 for the loss. So yeah, that's pretty much a vote of confidence in a win at the weekend. Just got confirmation through there as well, guys. I'm going to be on the agenda at 9 o'clock as well tonight, so make sure to tune in for that if you guys can. I'll imagine it's probably going to be a preview anyway, but it'd be good to get on and catch up with some of those guys. Now, I guess we'll go back to some of the stories that we've got anyway. and one of them is Casemiro. Casemiro could be coming back at the weekend. Do I think we put him right back into that team? Personally, no. That's why I left him out of my team selection in terms of a prediction or even just what I want to see. I just can't see Casemiro playing at the weekend. I don't want to rush anybody back into this team, and a lot of people can make that argument that we are arguably playing better without him at the minute anyway. But I'll leave that one for another day. I'll leave that one for another video. I'll just say that I can't see us throwing people back into this one. It's the same reason Mount isn't in there. It's the same reason that I don't think you're going to see Martinez in there. I think we're just going to be going for a similar team to what we've seen against Liverpool. Maybe with Harry Maguire coming in, maybe with Rashford in there as well. And that's what I honestly think we're going to go with. I would be surprised if it's anything else. I wouldn't mind a few pleasant surprises. I wouldn't. I'm never the type to complain too much about this sort of stuff. But yeah, Steph says we're up to 14 likes. Yeah, guys, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Let's see if we can get up to 15. It looks to be a little bit quieter this week, but it is what it is. Matata, would you change? Oh, you're talking about ownership changes? I don't think that could really matter where your owners are from. Like, a good owner is a good owner. Doesn't matter if they're from Japan or if they're from America or from South Africa or France. A good owner is a good owner. Like, that's what it's coming down to. Bart, we can't get their director of football. People play for their club and has affinity. Dortmund hasn't won much since Klopp left, and Bayern are a different gravy, though they're European royalty. Yeah, they are. Like, they're still being run pretty badly, all things considered, by their standards. I know there's a lot of discontent at Bayern Munich seemingly, and it's not been a very good season for them. Issues with Julian Nagelsmann and his sacking. Then there was, of course, the whole Tuchel debacle, and he's going to leave the club, and that's been announced mid-season. That's all very un-Bayern-like as well. Jay United is down there. Leach not seen in training today. No, he hasn't been, buddy. So that's why I think we're going to be seeing Harry Maguire in there with Rafa Varane. That's my prediction. It might be Johnny Evans. It might be Lindelof. I mean, like, I make no mistake about it. I really like Lisandro Martinez. I hope he plays at the weekend because I think we're better with him in the team. But I just can't see us throwing him back in. It doesn't make sense to me. There's a lot of big a lot of big matches coming up in terms of this top 4, top 5 hunt, whatever you guys want to call it. There's also FA Cup semi-finals. Can't see it happening. Steph says, watch along Saturday. Possibly. It depends. I'm not too sure what the plans are for myself. I think it's like an 8 o'clock kickoff, so there might not be. I don't know, like, because it is a Saturday. It's 8 o'clock. I'm not too sure. I will let you know. I'll be on stream tomorrow anyway. So I'll definitely have that confirmed by then. Chat Sport, doesn't Champions League start soon? Yeah, it starts very soon as well. I think it starts next week. That's what I think is going to be happening. In terms of the quarterfinals and stuff for the Champions League, that's all going to be pretty soon. So yeah, that'll be exciting, no doubt. It's unfortunate that we're not in it, though. It's always hard to get yourself up for big European matches knowing that we're not involved, but it'll give us a clean run at this Champions League top 5 spot, whatever this coefficient ranking's going to be. We're not quite sure on that at the minute, but let's just find out as we go along. Steph might be in the pub. I mean, I might be in the pub as well, to be honest. What have did I miss something down there? Don't think so. We got 22 votes on our poll anyway, guys. 68% are going for the win, 18 for the draw, 14 for the loss. Thanks very much for those predictions. Does look like a win is being the most favourite option in terms of our upcoming match anyway. An interesting update that we do have from Muppeteers. If you guys are interested in that there, it looks like we're targeting 3 potential centre-back signings to Todibo, and we're looking at who else was that? Sorry, was that pretty sure that was Jarrad Branthwaite. Hold on, it's just disappeared on me. I don't know what it does this sometimes. I missed the tweet. Hello, there's bath time down below. Baldur's Gate's going really good, buddy. Honestly, going really good. I hope you're feeling a lot better, man. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to be on the agenda pretty soon. Anyway, about 9 o'clock. Jay is down there here in Greenwood. 15 million for Bremer. That's nuts. Nah, I can't see us doing that, man. Bremer's just not that good. Like, he's okay, but he's not that great. Like, Anyway, here's the update. They lose out on a refresh tab. Apologies for that. According to Muppeteers, Manchester United want 3 top centre backs, ideally Jarrad Branthwaite, Todibo, and Lisandro Martinez, that they can cycle through throughout the season. Makes sense to me. Todibo is mostly right centre back. Martinez mostly left centre back. You've got Branthwaite, who's played left centre back for Everton all season, but he did play right centre back for PSV. So the options are there. The options are there. Matata, how many pints make me count the stars? I don't really go looking at the sky too much whenever I've been out. Don't worry. Bath time, a little bit quick. It's very annoying. I hope you get soon. Well soon again, buddy. Looking forward. Maybe we'll catch you or something on the eye test on Monday if you're going to be doing that. If you're up for it, if you're well. Bart is down there. United fans on various platforms normally pile on players and new signings after a single mistake. The media thrives in this, and the endless cycle grows. Give the new guys 6 months at least. Yeah, look, that's important. People want instant results. They want instant world class players. They want the most goals, the most tackles, the most clean sheets instantly, without taking into account all the other variables and stuff as well. Yeah, and look, it's a very easy story to pile on. I mean, you only have to look at this season. Onana criticised and slaughtered for most of the year, but he's actually been pretty good for the most part. Hoyland told he's not good enough, even though he was Champions League top goal scorer. Now he scored 8 or 9 goals in the league, and all of a sudden now all that talk's gone to bed. It's one of those ones. Like, Mount has had a very frustrating season, but he could turn it all around next year and be a key part of the side. We don't know what's going to happen in the future anyway. Chat support, will I put a link for the other channel? Yeah, I'll put the link in down below just in a couple of minutes. Just what have I got? Bath time. I had encephalitis. I'm not too sure what that is, to be honest, but it sounds serious. It sounds bad anyway. Rajat, not too sure. Okay, not sending there. Copy and part. Did I miss something there as well? No, I don't think so. I think we're all good. Anyway, guys, most people going for the win at the weekend. I think if we want to look at form for Brentford, it's not the best at this moment in time. But I mean, they're certainly a team that has caused us a lot of problems in recent encounters. Like I said, 4-0 last year, give us a really tough match against them earlier in the season. But in the last 5 matches, it's 4 losses and a draw, so it's not been ideal in terms of that for Brentford. And yeah, they're in a precarious position in terms of their league standing. Probably going to be safe. They're probably going to be safe, and the reason is because of lack of quality from Sheffield and Burnley. Everything possible for another points deduction. Nottingham Forest not out of trouble yet. Luton Town in a lot of trouble as well. So, you know, there certainly is potential, I guess, potential for Brentford to stay in the league, even if they lose at the weekend. But they'll want to go out there. Chatsport says Garnacho will have to up his goal tally next season. Fans will expect more of him. I mean, look, you want to see improvement, I guess. And I think, Aski, you do want to see improvement from players year on year, especially at that kind of age. I think he's got 7 goals and 4 assists this season. He got like 6 and 6 last season. He'll probably finish with more goals and assists this season. In terms of being an overall player and his overall involvement and his decision making and the overall standard of his game, you know, he has improved a lot this year. Certainly in terms of what he does on the ball, what he offers off the ball as well. So look, I'm happy with that. Not every season from a 19-year-old has to be scoring 30 goals. If he hits 10 goals, I think that's a big success. That could be three goals in 10 league matches plus a match against Coventry City guaranteed. So 3 goals in 11 matches. It's not too unachievable, depending on his form and fitness and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those, you know, you want to see him improve. I think we will see him improve next season as well. But I mean, he's still just so young anyway. Like he's only he's literally only 19 as well, so gotta give him all the time in the world to grow and develop. Anyway, since that 4-0 loss against Brentford, we have beat them 1-0 at Old Trafford. We beat them 2-1 earlier in the season. We'll want to go there, make sure we go 3 from the last 3. But it's not guaranteed. They've got a lot to play for, and hopefully we can be up to the challenge. Now, Bath time. Hopefully the lads remember the Sancho comment. And once again, shit all over Thomas Frank's Easter. Maybe. Hopefully. Let's hope we can do it, guys. Big ups and 17 likes anyway. Rajat says, hope Hoyland and Garnacho can score at least 8 to 15 goals between them at the weekend. I mean, like, if Garnacho and Hoyland are scoring 8 or 15, between 8 to 15 goals in a single match, I'll be very happy with that there. I think everybody would be very happy. Bart says, order Manu and Garnacho if the summer off. Don't let them become starters by default. Don't pile on them if they start sluggishly. Same goes to Hoyland. Don't give them the number 7 shirt. Number 7, I think, will stick with Mount, to be honest. But yeah, I think what you got in Garnacho and Manu and Hoyland are 3 top young players. I think you're in a position now where you don't want to block their pathway into the first team to be a constant starter. Like, you don't want to do that. So it's about managing that signing and managing those players by getting support around them. You want to have a player who can come in for Hoyland next season and play quite a few matches so that you're not burning him out. You want to do the same with Garnacho. Ideally, he will be rotating more with Rashford, or if he ends up on the right hand side, we finally sort that flank out in the summer. Same goes with Manu. You would like him to have some support in the middle of the pitch as well, just so you're not burning these young players out. It can happen. They're still developing. We've seen it before with Barcelona. We'll probably see it again with Barcelona. Let's not fall prey of the same. Jay United is saying Ivan Toney might work well as a partner to Rasmus. 30 to 40 million max. We're never going to get him for that much. And I know paying like 50, 60, 70, 80 million for a 28-year-old striker, yeah, I mean, that does not up to me. Like, it really doesn't. As good as he is, I just don't think we're going to pay that kind of price for him. But again, it comes down to valuations. Like, that's how much money he's worth to Brentford. It mightn't be his quality as a player, but to that club, that's how much he's going to be worth, because he's their main source of goals. And if they stay up, it will be largely because of what he might do in the next couple of weeks. Bart says, am I impressed by the 2-7-2 system deployed by Moda? He's going to be the next big manager from Serie A coming to our shores. He might be, but it's interesting because he's not playing a 2-7-2 in terms of it's interesting because he's not looking at it as a vertical player. A vertical system. He's looking at that in terms of a horizontal. So he's got the 2 players on the left hand side. He's got 7 in the middle. He's got 2 on the right hand side. And a big part of the overall belief there is, I think he calls it collective trust. It's basically just knowing each other's game. It's having the trust and the confidence within your teammates to make the runs, to look for the passes. Bart is down there. I have some good news. I've gifted a channel membership of the MU Agenda. I will let anarchy reign in those members only streams. Nice one. Steph said, would I swap Antonio from West Ham with McTominay? Nah, I wouldn't. Antonio's just not good enough. Like, he's really not. And I think even McTominay, like, I wouldn't swap him for a player of Antonio's level. Like, yeah, I mean, if you're talking McTominay, if you're going to sell him, like, I think you're looking at a £40 million player. I think the goal scored this season, add that to a team at the lower end of the Premier League or mid-table, like those 10 goals could be the difference in them finishing top 8 as compared to finishing like 13th or 14th. I mean, McTominay would be a very important player for someone at that sort of level at the of that level of the league. Bard has put up a good one. Kudos for McTominay. I mean, yeah, I mean, you're getting a better player there at least. But I don't know if I'd really go to West Ham looking for too many players that would really improve us anyway. Maybe, I mean, you can maybe make the Bowen argument, but nah, not for me. Not for me anyway. 26 votes in those polls, guys. 69% say win, 19 for the draw, and 12 for the loss. Most people gonna go with a win at the weekend. We're up to 18 likes as well. Much appreciated, guys. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why YouTube do this. Like, it's frustrating because I think we got like 55 views on the stream, which is, yeah, I mean, like, obviously, that's good, but when it comes down to their errors, it's kind of annoying. Like, 55 views from 200 impressions, so that's, I don't know, like over 25%, and yet it's telling me that it's 3.2. That's not quite the math doesn't math. Anyway, guys, got an interesting story. 17-year-old Zachary Bauman was involved in first team training today after an impressive season for the Ukrainian eligible midfielder who is already a mainstay in the under-21 side despite being a first year under-18s. He's gone under the radar for most of this season due to performances of Harry Amas and Montado, but certainly a player to be looking out for. Apparently looks something similar and plays something similar along the lines of Adam Wharton. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with him. I think he went from Blackburn to Crystal Palace, so certainly a player to watch out for. Chat Sports said Anthony is a left back. Gregory is down there. My opinion, I would like Ericsson to start over McTominay. I mean, I can't be for it, and the reason I say that is I remember last year Ericsson struggled defensively against Brentford. I think McTominay will be starting this one. I haven't always been the biggest fan of him, to be fair, but it is what it is. Man Utd, Radcliffe will bring down Old Trafford if we sell McTominay. No, I don't think so, buddy. Partisan there. Bowen is outperforming his XG, one of the highest differences in the league alongside Watkins. Yeah, it's just good finishing, man. A little bit of luck involved, but yeah, good finishing to be sure as well. Jess says, any hope about Anthony? Will he turn it around? I think he's limited. I think he is very much a system player. I think he's got individual qualities. Maybe we don't play to what those qualities should be. At the minute, United are very much a team that relies upon that the ability to play vertical balls into our wide players, and that's kind of what we've been feeding off for a long time. Garnacho's good at it, Rashford's good at it, but I mean Anthony, it's maybe not quite his game. He does look better in matches where we have more possession because he's not being asked to motor up and down the right flank. But nah, to me, I have very little hope of him really turning it around. I would love to be proven wrong. We spent a lot of money on the guy. It would be a lot easier for us if Anthony just started to really play well. I just based upon what we've seen so far, I just can't see it. But that's my opinion. Might be wrong. He might really turn it around and do some wonderful things, but I just can't see it, to be honest, guys. That's just my thoughts. And guys, can we get up to 20 likes as well? Steph says we're up to 19 there as well, so we need one more to hit the big 2-0 mark. That would be much appreciated, because I think that could be like 20 likes on every stream for like the last 2 weeks, which is really good. Obviously fantastic support from you guys as always. Really appreciate that. Now there was a couple of other stories I wanted to go through. Let me see if I can quickly spot some of these. Yeah, Todibo. It's an interesting one. Look, it looks like a market opportunity here. Fabrizio Romano understands Jean-Clair Todibo will be valued by Nice at around 40 million for the upcoming window. He was already on the list for Man United since last summer, but more clubs have also joined in. The French international and Nice vice captain could be on the move. Now, depending who you ask and depending on who we read, there was reports came out that he wasn't keen on a move to Manchester specifically. I think he represents a good market opportunity, and it's not just that we would technically be selling to ourselves or selling to the Ineos group. But that level of quality that he does possess would be very good for us. He's a good progressive centre half, and I think we need more of that. But I would question if we're bringing him in as a direct replacement for Rafa Varane. I would question the overall ability that we would be losing in terms of box defending. We would be losing a real aerial duel winner in Varane. Todibo just doesn't have those numbers to back up that level that Varane has set this season. So hopefully if we do bring Todibo in, it's not just as the only centre back. We also go after a Branthwaite, we go after an Adebayo, something like that as well, to pad out those numbers and get us some duel winners in the box. Steph says we're up to 21 likes. Big ups, guys, much appreciated. Dark Rose says Southgate will save us from more embarrassing thrashings by the likes of City, Liverpool and Brentford. I can't say that, but I mean, I just can't see Southgate being our manager. Steph says if Anthony guaranteed 10 goals a season, I would be happy. His work rate is unquestioned, unlike Rashford. Look, he works hard. I think he struggles because he is a system player based on a system that doesn't really exist, which is kind of a concern. The system isn't here. Uh, Gregory, in my opinion, Bowen is not a good player. He cannot play Manchester United. Greenwood is better than Bowen. I'm not. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of Jarrad Bowen. I mean, I think he's important for West Ham. I think, there's a shout for putting him in the England squad, but to me, he's never seemed a Manchester United player. I don't think Greenwood will be either. I don't think it's controversial at this point to say that most realistically, Greenwood gets sold in the summer. I don't think that's. I don't think that there's a controversial take at this point, and I think that does look most likely. Dark Crow says we will be with the same player for 2 more seasons, so precaution. Football's the best option. No, I don't think so. I can see a lot of turnover, players coming and going, to be honest, man. Chatsport, Liverpool will probably go in for Sana at Munich, perhaps Musiala. I mean, maybe. I mean, Musiala will probably do really well in the Premier League. I can't see him leaving Bayern Munich either. At this point in time, Bayern are one of those teams that don't tend to sell their big players or important players, unless they feel that they've either got a replacement or their best years are behind them. They've done that recently. Anyway, I think that Todibo one's an interesting one. Centre back's definitely going to be an interesting area to watch out for all summer long, because they're going to be really trying to improve those areas. Bart would like to see Liao. I guess that means Cody Gakpo's tenureship as a starter is going to go. And Steph says goals in the Premier League is a huge problem as well. Yeah, look, Steph, we don't score enough goals, which is a concern. But I also think we concede far too much as well. And I think you get more out of the team if you build from the back, and I think that's where we need to be looking at as well. Obviously, a lot of system work needs to be done. We need to be actually focusing on chance creation as well. Big ups and 22 likes as well, guys. Really appreciate that. Dark Rose said, trolls like Bart will be banned at United Stand, United View, People's TV, Forever United, etc., etc. I'm pretty sure Bart's banned from all those channels as well. I'm sure he could tell you better, but I think there is quite an extensive list of comments zones where Bart has been banned from for trolling as well. Anyway, guys, big ups to the 2 people who've hit the sub button today. Much appreciated. Chat Sport says, Liao, I would like to see him in the Premier League. PSG will be in for him after Mbappe goes to Madrid. Perhaps so. I like Liao. Don't get me wrong, he's not a goal scoring machine either. He's a very talented player, very creative, very good runner, and a very good dribbler. But there is flaws in his game as well. He's still young. He still will improve, but it's not like he's the perfect player, and like someone like Rashford is just utter garbage that we need to get rid of and get Liao in. All players have their ups and downs as well. Bart says, I've been blocked by at least a dozen United fan channels. Bart, have you been banned by any other fan channels in terms of other clubs? Have like AFTV or League Gunner or any of those guys managed to ban you at all? Liman Liman says Bart is a sweetheart. Okay. We'll leave that one there anyway. I think there's a couple more stories I wanted to go through anyway. There was some interesting news, I guess, in Joshua Kimmich we talked about earlier. I guess I'm going to come down to the same consensus that I did at the time. I just can't see this still happening. It screams agent talk to me. I just don't know if we're going to sign a 29-year-old who seems to be having a little bit of an identity crisis in terms of whether he's a right back or a centre defensive midfielder. If he's a 6, where does he play? So for me, I mean, as much and as highly as I rate Kimmich and his career, I just don't know if it's going to be the smart signing. I also can't get behind this one, guys. It's coming from Jack Talbot. He says United want another striker and a right back, although they're told by sources close to Dallo that the Portuguese international is willing to stay and fight for his place at Old Trafford. There's no desire to leave, regardless of new recruits brought in. Radcliffe will look to maximise spending in the summer, but the overall budget is contingent on European prospects. See, that sounds like a non-update to me. That sounds like nonsense. How can you want to bring in a right back that we don't really need when we have Dallo? Maximize your spending, but also says spending is going to be constrained on whether we're in the Champions League or not. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. If you listen to that there, Jarrad says you got yourself banned from AFTV. That's an achievement. Bart got a whole ban list here. He's got a no-fly zone. What have we got here? A few freelancers, AFTV, Spurs TV, Ipswich Fan TV. Bart, how did you get banned by Ipswich Fan TV? Like, I would love to know how these happen. I don't think I've ever looked up Ipswich Town fans to begin with. Um, I think there was another few stories I wanted to touch upon anyway, just when we're going through some of this. I think we can ignore some of these, so let's rattle through these. United interested in signing Hosselu, no chance. We're not going to sign him. Uh, just not done it at Real Madrid. Just not it. United want a striker to support Højlund this summer. Yeah, I think we'll go for another striker. Just depends on who it's going to be. Um, United see Branthwaite as a potential target this summer and view him as one of the most promising young players in his position. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll give you that. Kobbie Manu getting a new deal. I wouldn't be surprised, but no rush on that. He's under contract to 2028. There's no real rush needed for that one. Now, that's some of the miscellaneous stories that we can disregard for the day, because we're not going to be signing Hosselu. We're not going to be going after some of those aforementioned players, and I can't see us buying a right back if our budget will be constrained by European football, but we still want to spend as much money as possible. These stories don't make sense to me. I'm sure they don't make sense to you guys either. Now, I have Steph says Bart is not. Bart is your buddy on United and TV. Big ups. Yeah, it's good to see you guys anyway. Chessport said Lukaku looked good. Been there. Yeah, we've been there and done that as well. Ollie was right. Ollie wanted to put Lukaku on the right wing and did so in a couple of matches, and Lukaku never appreciated playing there. But he got a couple of assists there for Belgium. It's obviously there. What am I missing as well? Bart says for the Ipswich channel, I remember chatting about North City and some of their players. Fair enough. What's my plans for the philosophy in terms of variety? Yeah, that's a good question there from Man Utd. Sorry. So I have a couple of plans. I was writing them down literally before I went on stream here. So obviously I want to bring more content to you guys, and I also want to bring some guests on as well. So that's going to be things that we aim for the upcoming summer transfer window and all over summer and stuff. We'll want to get as much guests on here as well. So do expect to see some people from the agenda if possible, or do expect to see some other people on here. I think I was looking at, obviously we'll continue the new shows. We will continue with the watch-alongs. Those will probably just be pre-season matches, so there will be a break between June really to the middle of July. If you want, we could do some Euros watch-alongs as well. That's an interesting one because it's not really United. I remember for the World Cup, tried to do some content for that. It didn't really go too well in terms of overall engagement, but channel was a lot smaller back then. But if you guys want some European Championship stuff, I will happily do Euros or even Copa America. Then we're going to be doing scout report videos. We're hopefully going to do at least 1 or 2 a week. That's what I've written down here. Previews and stuff as well. We'll make a comeback on the channel for some extra variety. What else have we got? Could have potential manager specials if that does happen as well. Bart says, do you plan to collab with other YouTubers like John Shin, Bath Time, someone like Jem Oddy or Andy Tate? I mean, yeah, I would love to get some of those guys on here. I don't know about getting someone like Jem Oddy on. I feel like that's probably a bit above my pay grade, to be honest. I mean, yeah, like I'll definitely try to get like Bath Time, or I'll get like a Monday or Mr. B or someone from the agenda on over the summer and stuff as well. Jarl says, as long as you don't start singing It's Coming Home, I'll watch. I mean, maybe. I don't think you'll see me singing that, to be honest. I'll have to pick a team out. Maybe we'll do that there. Obviously, I'm in a unique position because I could technically support Northern Ireland or Republic of Ireland, and neither are going. So maybe what we'll do is I'll pull like a team out of the hat or something, and we'll just say, yeah, I'm going to be supporting Georgia in this tournament or something. I don't know. But we'll watch the big matches anyway. We'll have some fun for the Euros. So it'll be good. Euros. We'll do Euros, we'll do transfer windows, we'll do some scout reports. I'll try to do shorts as well because I know those go down well. It's just like a 60-second video, and I do have a TikTok I made maybe like a year and a half ago. I haven't posted on it in about a year. Bart says try to get Sam from People's TV. Yeah, I mean, I would love to get those people on. I feel like I would need to be doing more than 75 views a stream to get people like that on, but I'll try my best. I'll see what I can do. I would love to get involved with some of those other channels anyway. But yeah, guys, big ups and those likes anyway. We've got 22 on today's stream. Really appreciate that there. I'm gonna pop off now, but I should be on the agenda at 9 o'clock, all being well. What's the average pay to get a person on from another channel? I don't know. Like, I've been on Rich Sports and I've been on the agenda. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go charging people for my input on the stream. Like, but I'm sure that some people would do. Like, I'm sure if I wanted to get Fabrizio Romano on here, it might be like £2,000 or something stupid like that. I'll just like put an entire month's pay or something onto getting Romano on the show to guarantee some views. I don't know. I don't know. But look, guys, I think I'm going to leave the stream here anyway. Make sure to join me on the agenda later on tonight at 9 o'clock. I think Mr. B is going to be on there, and I'll have to double check who else is on there because I'm not too sure what the plans are. They got sent over to me whilst I've been on here, but haven't got a chance to look at them. Anyway, I will take some of that feedback away. We'll run some polls and stuff in the next couple of days about variety of content and stuff because I want to bring as much to it as possible. Chatsport says, wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm positive Romano will cost like that much. Like, he's pretty much the biggest deal there is with transfers and shit. Like, so I don't know. But I'll get something worked out. Don't worry, guys. Thanks anyway for joining. Really appreciate it. And I'll catch everyone at 9 o'clock if you're interested.